Yeah, the righteous indignation of gamers. There's still power there. There's still some power there. What the heck is that? I was just at JT Smash's channel. Told him about Laren von Baron. God, it seems like so long ago. We still have the power. We can still show that spark where there's enough of us that are angry that you might, like any union, get people to stand together against the gaming company. And the way you do that isn't by just bitching about how bad a game is. You punish them financially. Because right now they're trying to nickel and dime us to death, okay? Because the greed factor's just gone through the fucking roof. It's like the difference between corporate pay, you know what I'm saying, and the everyday worker. That's kind of how gaming has become. It's gamers at the very bottom of the fucking level now, and we're the ones that are spending the money. Now, it doesn't take much. It really doesn't to get us to say, yeah, okay, fuck it. We're all going to stick together on this. You know that? Because we have to. And it's a mutual feeling that everyone has that this could be empowering. Okay? Now I'm too old to do it. We need another person to do it that's a little younger, that is willing to do what I was willing to do 15 years ago when I told everybody. This is when I had tens of thousands of people signing up every week on my page, okay? Every time I got 250,000 subscribers, Google would take 240,000 of them away. They did that constantly, okay? It was the Laren von Baron, the Gamers Union. When I was attacked by Microsoft, I was just naive. But there has to be somebody that can say, okay, I'll be the guy. Gaming does, the only news gaming gets is it bad for our kids? Does it cause violence? You know what I mean? They never stop to consider how much money's involved here. There is so much deception in the gaming industry. There's also there's no doubt Sony and Microsoft never attacked one another. Okay, they let gamers do that. They did not want a competitive environment. The fact that we have that it's Sony or Microsoft it's shameful. That we only have two consoles to choose from that can run AAA games, or maybe even four consoles. We allowed them to do that because we didn't vote with our wallets. We can get together a million people and say, okay, fuck you. Microsoft. Remember, you had the basically guy dressed like a pimp, and he said, we're going to do this. We're going to DRM everything. We're only going to let you pay for an hour at your friend's house. You're not going to be able to sell your discs unless the game manufacturer says you can do it. They basically tried to screw us so hard in one shot that we all said, okay, enough is enough. When you start telling gamers that we're going to let you play in your house for as long as you want for no extra charge, they made it sound like they were fucking doing us a favor. Okay? You saw how quickly they backed down because it scared them. Now imagine that group on the fucking loose today. Imagine that group on the loose today. We want System Link and LAN back in games, or we're just not going to buy them. Anything that you can fucking play online, we want to be able to play it in our house on a disc. And if it takes 2 discs, then give us 2 discs. We want to be able to play that game here, home, without you interfering or anyone else. We want to be able to hook 2 boxes together and play right here, or maybe 10 boxes in a room and play. We don't want to have to go online. We don't want to have a permanent internet connection that you don't pay a fucking dime for. I pay $70 a month for what I get Without that, you don't have an online premium extra. You don't have shit without me maintaining a $70 a month bill. Sony, Microsoft, you guys don't have any fucking online gaming, and it's that way for everybody. Never hear that talked about. I talked about it constantly 15 years ago, constantly. And I had people making videos telling me that I was anti-gamer. How can you? I mean, see, you could tell that it was a deliberate attack because no one who's a gamer would be against making gaming better, more secure, reasonably priced. See, it's like anti-union, right? Oh, you're going to give a union your money? They're never going to do anything for you. Every month they're going to take that money from you, and you're not going to get anything anyway. See? That's what you hear. That's what they put that bug in everybody's ear, and they scare everyone. Unionizing is the only way to ever get wages close to the fucking raises and the amount of money that the upper part, of business is getting. There are so many spaces at EA and all the gaming companies. There are so many spaces that are filled with upper middle management suck-ups, just eating up those fucking billions of dollars. You know what I mean? And what do we get in return? Everything taken away from us. When there's a Call of Duty game that has System Link in the menus, but it doesn't work. Never did work. Because they understood that was not only was that giving you replayability, because you could play the same game over and over and over with your friends in a room because every game's different. You know what I mean? It's not like playing a one person campaign. System Link and LAN. And the fact that there's just too many single player games that are online. Why do fucking single player games have to be online? Well, we allowed them to do that. We know why. We know why. It's a naive fucking question to even ask why. We know why, but we let them do it. Most of the adult gamers that I know now that I knew 15 years ago don't game much at all because gaming's driven them away. It's not even worth their time and their effort anymore. The way gaming has gone, they're like, fuck it, you know what I mean? All they care about is, that 9 to 15-year-old with mom and dad's credit card. That's their target. What do you think this Sony refresh thing is? This is to get some fucking 13-year-old to tell his mom and his dad he's got to have this new one because it's the best thing, and the other one's not. This is what I need to make me happy. They'll sell millions of them. Sony will sell fucking millions of this new refresh that's no fucking better because we don't have any games to play. What good is a refresh? What, you're going to play Gran Turismo 7? That's a PS4, PS5 port on your new shiny fucking refresh? Is it going to play any better? No. No. Is the game going to be any better? No. Going to be the same shitty ass game. Call of Duty, 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 Call of Duty. It reminds me of sports. TV. Remember that? Next generation. I find that fucking hilarious. When I hear that term, I find that fucking hilarious. I've seen next generation before. This ain't it. They have found so many ways to screw us. Okay? Sony. First off, I relate everything to Gran Turismo because that's my favorite game. That's why I own a PlayStation. And it's why I have sim rigs. You know what I mean? I got dual sim rigs for playing. Pretty serious about it. And the reason that I spent more money for Gran Turismo 7 was because it was going to be a PlayStation 5 game. all the advertising they did showed this amazing looking shit. And I was like, oh fuck, I gotta have that. So I'm gonna improve this and this and this why? Because I couldn't get a fucking PlayStation. I owned the game for a fucking year. And I didn't want to play any of it on a controller. And then the bad news started coming out. And then more bad news, and more bad news, and more bad news, and more bad news. Until I started playing, and I got about 20 hours in. A game that I have finished to fucking perfection every single iteration. I have 20 hours in this one, and I can't fucking stand it. I think I'm a level 45 or 6 or something. Fuck. See, we need that person. Who is that person? Who's the personality right now on YouTube that's a gamer that could say, okay, if I start a web page where you come and sign up, legitimate, okay, this is my gamer tag, this is my email address, right? Legit. So that when people vote, it's a real vote. And the gaming companies understand it's a real fucking vote. These are real people. This isn't numbers. This is real fucking people saying they're not going to buy our game. It's scary to think of taking on that industry. I wasn't afraid back then because, they weren't as powerful then. They were in trouble with Congress. They were, at least one fucking eye was on them. It was different then, okay? Now they're so entrenched that taking them on is serious. That's $1 billion fucking industry, billion plus. That is a serious thing. Okay, so we need somebody that's willing to do what I was willing to do. Just go handcuff yourself to the fucking Capitol building. So what? You get arrested. At least you get your shot at telling the press. This is why I did this. There's more money in video games than there is in music and movies combined, and they target your children financially and mentally. That's what the gaming industry doesn't want the fucking news looking at that. They don't want Congress looking at it. They don't want senators, even representatives looking at it, okay? And when I said I would do that, I was attacked viciously online with all those people, the anti-Laren von Buren pages. Oh, and then there's this guy. Wait a minute. How can you, if you're a gamer, how could you be against what I was saying? Unless there's something wrong with you where you're thinking like you have dyslexia for thought patterns. I was just asking for common sense things for gamers so that the industry would understand, yeah, there's a voice there that is a voice of authority for us. And if we don't listen to it, they could ruin our company. Any game that we come out with that is meant to take advantage of them full of microtransactions and defects and year delays and, they'll just tell us, fuck it, we're not going to buy it. And that's going to make other companies step in. And they all of a sudden shit's better. Corners stop being cut. Bad ideas start being pushed forward. Who's that person? Who is that person now? I don't fucking know, man. I don't. I've thought about it. I know people who could do it, but they wouldn't because they're making too much money, doing YouTube for money. It would only take 10 million people on a list to scare the shit out of the gaming company. They'd crap their fucking pants. If you had 10 million, that's just the subscribers from a few well-known pages. If you could get that many people, they would crap their pants. If we would just have a list of demands. This is what we want. See, that's what scared the industry. Was we were going to tell them that this is what we wanted to play. This is what we want. We're fucking gamers. This is what we want as gamers. Quit fucking feeding us horse shit that you say is gaming. This is what we want for gaming. We want system link. We want LAN. We want ownership. We want physicality as well as online. I want to be able to play anything I play online. I want to be able to play offline. Plain and simple. Call of Duty has come out with so many shitty games that it should have just ended right there. Boom. No more. The next game that came out might not be called Call of Duty. It'd be called World at War or something, something like that. And it would be a quality game because they couldn't afford to just throw the fucking money away. That's what you're doing. If you're going to make this kind of game, gamers aren't going to go for it. They're going to close that fucking purse up. You're fucked. See, that's how they would be thinking in the boardroom. But right now they're thinking, fucking gamers are all just little fucking kids. We're fucking mom and dad. Yay, bigger boat, bigger boat, bigger boats.